Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm AndyRC and today I'm checking out the Syma X5UW. Now a lot of people will know the Syma X5. It's usually the entry-level quadcopter that gets people into this hobby, perhaps after a Hubsan Micro or something like that. And this one seems a complete departure from the last X5. They have gotten rid of that DJI Phantom look and gone with their own style, which I quite like. However, they have retained the way that it is built, so it's a light plastic and the features look very similar. It has got brushed motors with gears underneath, and they have covered up the gears, which is nice because these can be known to strip. I really like how they have implemented the landing gear. You can see it's really strong but effective. And we have got a camera on this one. This is a Wi-Fi FPV model, and this one's a little bit different because it also accepts a micro SD card. It comes with a 4GB micro SD card. Now usually with these Wi-Fi models, the recording of the video is done on the mobile device that you are using. However, with this one, it's going to record to the micro SD card, which is quite new. So it's a 720p camera. It looks to be a pinhole camera. Now, I was never impressed with the camera on the Syma models. That was just my own opinion. So I'm interested to see if they have improved that. So moving on to the back here, and we have a battery. Now, sadly, it's a proprietary battery. So if I take that out, it is a 1-cell, it's 500 milliamps, and again, this seems to be like a Syma connector that they are using, and that just slots into there. So you're going to have to buy their batteries if you want more batteries. We have a on button at the top here. You are also given prop protectors, which work really nicely. They just slot in, clip in, which is really nice. I'm not using that because it's extra weight and I'm outside, but I guess you could fly this indoors if you wanted to. Now this is a altitude hold model as well, so quite good for beginners on paper. We'll have to see. So I've got the transmitter down here, and again the transmitter is a bit of a departure from the last one. I'll just put the quadcopter down here. So we have got a phone holder here, which is a nice sturdy clip. This just slots into the transmitter here, and this is something that I like about all of this, is it's fairly straightforward. There's no screwing required. The only screw in the entire thing is this one, which is to put the battery plate in. I just really dislike these, and I usually keep them out, but yes, to get the battery plate out you need to unscrew this. It takes 4 AA batteries, and I screwed that back in, but oh, such a pain. Now, as this is a altitude hold model, we have got spring-loaded sticks, and again I'm sad to see that they have not taken advantage of this and given us the option to fly in mode 1, mode 2, mode 3 or 4. It's just mode 2, which I always think is a shame with these Syma models. Now I have bought out the manual because this one again has got so many buttons, and I just think it would be really easy for them to label them up, so that's a bit of a shame. So let's see here, we have got 360-degree flips on this. Hopefully the phone's not going to fall out. So 360-degree flips, and then we've got a auto takeoff button, so I'll have to check that out. Then we've got a photo and video button, so you don't have to have the video connected. You can just use this as a camera platform rather than using the FPV, which I guess is quite cool. Then on this one here, we have got 2 different rates, low and high it says, so I'll have to check that out. But also if you press this button down for a couple of seconds, you get headless mode as well. I'm not going to use that. I don't like headless mode. And then on this stick here, it's really odd. This is your trims function. So you can see there, no normal trims. And the way that it works, supposedly, is you hold this button down and then these become your trims. So you just have the pitch and the roll to trim, so no yaw trim, but that's not unusual for these models these days. But that is unusual, that the way that they're dealing with the trims, so I'm not too sure about that. Hopefully we won't need to use that function. So what I need to do next is turn the quadcopter on and then connect to its Wi-Fi hotspot. So let's do that. I'm going to attempt to turn the transmitter on first. Again, it's 50-50 whether you turn this on first or the quadcopter, as it's 2.4 gigahertz. Doesn't really matter these days, but I'm going to turn the transmitter on, and we have a flashing red light on here. So let's get and turn the quadcopter on. It's this button here, and you have to press it down for a couple of seconds, and then the lights are flashing there. So just put that on the ground for a second and then lift the throttle up and down, and then we should have a bind and all of the lights are on. There's also a light on the camera as well. So let's get onto this app. Turn the brightness up first. So the app is called Syma Go. They have been inspired by the DJI Go app there. I thought they were trying to get away from DJI with this one, but yeah, Syma Go it's called. Now, they say that you can control the quadcopter from the phone as well as from the transmitter, but I would say just don't do that. You're going to get a greater control range out of this than you are controlling it from the phone, so that's just my opinion. So I need to go into the Wi-Fi hotspot there, and it says FPV Wi-Fi, so I imagine that it's that one. Let's see if I can connect to it. It says that it's connected. It's come up with an error saying no internet, so might have to, yes, there we go, tap for options and say don't ask again, and do you want to stay connected? Yes I do. I'm going to press start, and there we go, we have video. And it looks quite nice. The colors look nice. Doesn't really look jerky. We have sticks on the screen, so I'm going to want to remove that because I'm not going to fly this off the phone. So put that down there. How do I get rid of that? We've got this little icon under here. Can it? Will it let me drag it up? Oh, there we go. So I can turn off this icon here. So you've got all sorts of options here. We have got, like, if you want to use the gyro of the phone, you can. Now, this is a feature that's interesting. I might have to return to this. It looks like it's got like a sort of waypoint function. Now, I don't know how that is going to work because it doesn't have GPS, probably not very well. I'm going to ignore that for now. But what I do want to do is start video recording. So let's press that button and see what happens. It doesn't say that it's recording on here. See if anything's flashing on the quad. Oh, there we go. Yeah, look, the lights are flashing there. So let's press that. And yeah, that stops the recording. And then that's going again. So I wonder if you can also record on here. Yeah, it seems so. So that's going to screen record, but I'm not sure if I'd be interested in that because that may slow down the FPV feed on here. I'll have to see that. So we've got a couple of ways to arm this. You can go in the center there, but also lift the throttle up and down, I believe. You can also calibrate the accelerometer by moving both of the sticks down to the bottom right. However, I'm not on a flat surface, so I'm not going to do that. I am, however, going to put it in a higher rate because it's quite windy today. So 1 and then 2, so just your 2 rates there. Let's go for a takeoff. So I think it said throttle up and then down. Yeah, there we go. And the propellers are going, so let's try that takeoff button. Oh, that works really nice. Oh, I can tell already this thing is a good flyer. Syma just do this really well. That is so stable. And it's not the calmest of days today, but that is the highest rate, and I would say that it was quite docile still. Now the control range, this is Wi-Fi FPV, so it's going to be 30 meters, no more than that, otherwise it's going to break up. Just looking at the camera footage here, it looks stable, but I'm seeing Jallow. It is a sunny day here today. Yeah, so it does look like the footage on the phone is a little bit jerky, and I wonder if it's going to make a difference if I stop the recording on here. And it doesn't seem to have stopped the recording on the quadcopter, but that looks like it smoothed the video out on the phone a little bit. Yeah, I thought it would do that. So it's screen recording on the phone as well, but you don't really want to use that because it's going to be recording on board anyways, so it's a little bit pointless. It's just going to slow down your FPV feed. Altitude hold is working nice. So let's try to do a flip. I need to remember which one it is. I have to hold the button down on this one. So let's do that. It gains height, and then it also accounts for the height that it's going to lose and then gains height again. Did you see that? So hold the button down, gains height, loses height, gains height again. Oh, I'm getting a little bit far away from me there. Nice and quiet, nice flyer. I'm never a big fan of Wi-Fi FPV, but it's doing it. I can't deny that. And of course, as I have mentioned in the past, you know, benefit of Wi-Fi FPV is that you don't have to have a separate FPV system like a monitor. You can just use your phone, and most people have phones, of course. But definite downside is the range. I'm just keeping it in line of sight here, and I really wouldn't want to go any further with it. The good thing though is if you lose your video signal, it's still recording, so it's not the end of the world. It's such a good flyer though. It's not the cheapest of quadcopters though for its size. I think it's about £60. I'll have to check that because they're always changing the prices on these websites. You know, there's a lot of sales on at the moment as well. Got the 11/11 sales. So I'll be spending a fortune on that, no doubt. Yeah, this FPV is working really nice. The thing is, if I just look at the screen and do FPV, it is going to get away from me and probably out of the range of the video system. But you know, that wasn't bad actually, probably 30 meters. Like I say, I wouldn't want to go any further than that, but I was just doing FPV from this then, so you can do it. Now there's no indication to whether it's splitting the files, so what I might do is just stop the video so we've got something to look at. So we've got these flashing lights underneath here, so if I just press the video button, those stop, so nice indication that it's recording video. And take a photo, it just flashes once, and then press the video button again, and hopefully it's recording something. Nice flight time out of this. Not bad at all. Yeah, just seen a bit of Jallow on the screen there. If it was a duller day, or if I flew this sort of more at dusk time, you could eradicate that. The field of view isn't too bad, you know. These pinhole cameras these days don't always necessarily mean a horrible picture. This looks quite nice to me. It's not drifting around, but let's see if I can try that trim function. We could end up with a crash here though. So it's saying hold the button down. Yeah, and then you can trim it. You can do it, but it's a little bit tricky. I would have liked to have seen normal trims, to be honest. So this is the higher rate. It might be a little bit too windy for the lower rate, but let's go for it. Oh yeah, definitely too windy for the lower rates. Very quickly going back in the higher rate. Well, honestly, it's not really a high rate, it's more like a medium rate for sure. I'm really impressed with the flight time on this. Now the lights are flashing to say that we're recording video, but I now can't tell whether it's got an LVC or not. So let's just stop the video. No LVC, look. This one is legitimately having a good flight time. You know, Syma were always good at that. So they say that the control range is probably about 100 meters. However, you're definitely going to be losing your FPV feed at about 40 meters. So keep it in close if you've got the Wi-Fi model. I only really fly far away with a 5.8 gigahertz system, but this is working. I'm actually having fun with this, which is rare for a Wi-Fi model. Video is stuttering a little bit, but it's not like a showstopper. It's not stopping me from having fun. Usually with these Wi-Fi FPV systems, they disconnect when you're flying around. Some of them, like up to 10 meters away, 5 meters away, they disconnect. This one is not doing that. They're definitely improving these Wi-Fi systems. I just wish that they would integrate it into the transmitter just like they do with the Phantom series. So it's the transmitter that's receiving the video and not your phone, because obviously you're very limited with a phone. Just look at this thing. It is just keep on going. Yeah, impressed with this one, but I should be for the price. It's a fairly quiet machine, as all Syma models are. Is that landing? Look at that. It's actually done an auto landing. And it didn't stop the motors. So is it still... So there was no LVC there, but it did just land itself. So is that still recording video? Maybe it does have an LVC. So we've got a flashing light on the actual Wi-Fi module as well, so I can't tell what's happening with the video recording, so I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised. The image is pretty nice. Okay, it's a sunny day, so that's probably helping. A little bit of jello on the screen, but I do expect that with these models. So there you go, that is my review of the Syma X5UW. I'll put a link in the description if you wish to get one. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.